Hello, and welcome to my wonderful persuasive speech presentation about the differences between electric versus gas cars. But first, we are going to assess the different types of pros and cons of electric and gas vehicles, the many safety procedures and hidden features that may be in these type of cars, and lastly about how pollution is caused by these automobiles and why it's important to prevent these type of gases from poisoning Mother Earth and the plants as well. So the first thing that I want to majorly discuss is basically the pros and cons of having an electrical vehicle in your own house. As you all know, the many things that we know about electric vehicles is that they have multitudes of storage within the front and the back of the car, and it runs gas free, which means you could use your charging station in your closest area. But did you actually know within Tesla cars you can actually have a customization with your car horn and put it to whatever you would like? You can also control almost all electric cars through your phone, and the same type of battery that is located underneath an electric car is actually a lithium-ion battery that is both in laptops and electric cars alike. And I thought this would be a very cool fact to know because of how these electric cars are made. Now I want to transition to the cons of having an electric car. And as you all know, most electric cars start up from about 30 to 50 grand, and they can get possibly higher as the newer models go up. But the only downside to having these type of cars is that the parts to rebuild one of these cars is quite expensive, and then possibly through charging one of these type of cars is very time consuming, as it can possibly take up to an hour or two depending on what kind of electric car that you have. Now, the last part that I'm actually going to talk about is just the pros and cons of having your typical average gas vehicle. And as you all know, they're very low in maintenance. You wouldn't have to maintain them as much. They're very affordable and easy to purchase, and they can carry a lot of things such as other cars, trailers, campers, whatever you may want to carry. However, the only probably downside of these cars is just the low mileages that they have built within the engines, and just you may have some major spillages as well that you might get from time to time. So now I want to try to transition between the pros and cons of electric and gas cars into more of the safety features of these cars. So let's just pretend that you're driving down the road and you suddenly come to a stop or a halt in a traffic light. What's actually it's doing is that the seatbelt actually has a temporary locking mechanism that's actually preventing yourself from jacking more forward, so that way you can actually protect yourself more than other cars would. And as you can see in this diagram right here, most newer cars have a lot more airbags on the side to keep yourself a lot more safer than older cars, as you can see in this diagram right here. These are just the basic airbags that you would usually have in cars, and this is why buying a newer car is so much better, and it can save you tons of money in the end once you've actually purchased the car. So if you're dealing with airbags, definitely get a newer car. And the last thing I probably want to talk about is just the major pollution that's in the air, how it can affect your lungs, and everyone around your typical area. Now, most pollution is caused by black smoke, which is usually caused by semi-trucks or just bigger trucks in general, and that includes gas cars as well. And as you all know, within this picture, I'll pick it up again, is that most traffic ways and just major intersections that cars travel through, per se, is the reason why we have this type of pollution within our area. And the basic way to kind of stop this is to reduce air pollution, and what these researchers have also done is that they created a type of gas that not only reduces air pollution within the air, but also keeps the air more clean. And in a way you can possibly stop yourself from emitting this pollution, or should I say black smoke, is to either take an alternative transportation if you possibly can, and to possibly just stay home as much as you can and from everything else. And with that in mind, I want to try to conclude this presentation from the pros and cons of each electric and gas vehicle, the many safety features that these cars have, as that they're very highly rated, and just, like I said, through the many pollutions that cars emit and how to prevent them. So with all that said, I hope you learned a lot from this presentation, and as always, thank you for watching.